1968 A220 Race Car in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome back to OpaFed Gaming. I am the OpaFed. Today we are driving a 1968 Alpine A220 Race Car. We're driving it in a World Touring Car 700 race, and we're driving it at the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca track. We're doing 10 laps. We are one of 20 cars, and we started with a rolling start. Now we all know that we're not going to be able to do 10 laps on one tank. We know we're going to have to make a pit stop. The same for everybody on the track. Nobody's going to be able to do all 10 laps. So we've pre-raced this a few times. I wanted to see how many laps we could do, and we could safely do 5 laps. So we're going to do one pit stop today. We're going to do 5 laps, stop, fuel up, change a tire, and do 5 more. Now the strategy is to try and pass as many cars as you can safely, you know, without banging and crashing. Drive the race properly. Try and pass as many cars as you can in the first 5 laps, and then when we go into the pit stop, our display will show us exactly what position we're in and how many cars pass us while we're in the pit stop. But you got to remember one thing: when you're in the pit stop and cars pass, those cars still have to stop, because I don't think anybody stopped in the first 5 laps. Anyhow, that's 1 lap gone already, and as you can see, this race is pretty quick. Like, the cars are going pretty fast at a good clip. This particular car here in front of me, the yellow blackish one, he's a little bit erratic. He twists a little bit, and I don't like the way he slows right down, speeds back up. So let's get by this guy and avoid any interaction with him, because we don't need him running us off the road or anything like that. I mean, the main thing about this race is stay on the track, don't run into any cars, and try to drive as smoothly as you can. The VR on this particular car is absolutely awesome. As you can tell, it's a right-hand side drive, but the stick shift for the transmission is right beside the door on the right-hand side, so it's kind of cool. It's different. It's a little hard driving right-hand side drive cars if you're not used to it. I wasn't used to it until I started driving in Gran Turismo. I didn't like it at first. It's not bad. I don't mind it. I still prefer to be on the left-hand side, but that's just me. As we're coming up around this corner, we got 3 right in front of us and another 3 or 4 or 5 up ahead there, and we're just finishing our 2nd lap. So we've passed a few cars, not that many. We've got 19 altogether we got to pass, so that's 2 per lap. So we're doing okay. We're sitting in a good position. All these guys want to suck over to the left-hand side here. So when you're down there at that spot where the track, the lap ends, go to the right-hand side, and you can usually catch 1 or 2 of them napping. As we're coming up around the corner here, we're going to catch up to this main group now. This is that group in front. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. So we're 6 cars. We're still quite a ways down the pecking order, but then we're only in our 3rd lap here. So as we rip by a couple more, you know, so we've got time. We don't have to get too excited. As we're coming up around here, sometimes you can pass on the left-hand side here, but you got to remember there's a turn to the left up here. So if you are passing on the left-hand side, you might not be able to make that corner. I've done it before, and I've overshot every time. So I just wait, have a little bit of patience, and wait for a better opportunity. This here little S-curve with the hill, every time I go through it, because I'm in VR, it puts my stomach in my throat. It makes you get that queasy little roller coaster feel, right? I mean, and it comes through even though you're in VR, and I'm sitting still and not moving anywhere. Anyhow, this guy here in that what looked like a Berlinetta, he was doing a little wigging back and forth too, so I thought, well, let's get by him, and then we can pick these 2 guys off here. And now we've got to be getting somewhere around halfway through the pack, starting our 4th lap, I believe. I believe it's our 4th lap. So we got this lap and one more to go before we go in for fuel. On the left-hand side, you can see a track there. That's the exit of the pit stop. That's where you come out, just so you know. As we're coming up around the corner here, we can see a car in front of us. He's a little ways ahead. There again, you can't get too excited. Drive the track the way it's supposed to be driven. Push it just a little bit because you don't want to spin out around the corners. And you will catch up to them. Okay? So just try and drive as clean a race as possible because it ends up being a lot more fun anyhow. And this car is an awesome car to drive. Now cut it a little short there. Shouldn't have done that. See, that's where you lose a little bit of patience or you forget and you're trying to catch up too quickly and there's no need for it because it doesn't do you any good. If anything, when you cut a little short, you could end up spinning off the track and end up losing time and or maybe even losing the race. So you don't want to do that if you can help it. Okay, so we got now the entrance to the pit stop, left-hand side here, right there. We'll be getting in there next time. That's one thing I forgot to mention. When you're running a race, where you know you have to go and get fuel and maybe change the tires, always make sure in the very first lap that you drive that you know where the entrance to the pit stop is. Because heaven knows it's happened to people before. It hasn't happened to me yet. I'm sure it'll come. But it happened to people before where they forgot and they get to the pit entrance and they go by. And if you do that, then you might as well, you're done. You know, you can't run out of fuel on the track because the car will still move, but it goes like 5 miles an hour until you get around to the pit stop, and you're not going to win the race that way. So keep that in mind. Do not miss the entrance to the pit stop, which is coming up pretty quick here. Coming around this corner that we are taking a little bit better now. Don't cut it too short. And then that little dip on the hill. It's really difficult because you can't see until you're actually over the hill, like right over here. You can't tell which way you have to turn until you get to here, and you can see it. But if you've driven the track before, you get used to it. And it's a fun track to drive. It's really cool, and this car makes it so much better. Now, we should be going in for a pit stop here, I believe. Yes, here we go. And then we will be able to see on our display. So we came in 5th. Okay, we're going to change the tires too, because if you're in the pit stop and it's only going to take a few seconds, the tires are a little bit worn down. You can see on the left-hand side, on the bottom of the screen, the red is the worn part. We could probably go without, but why not? We're dropping positions now. Now we're in number 6 because cars are still passing the pit stop. Now you got to remember, these cars that are passing the pit stop haven't gone in for fuel yet. So I'm going to have enough fuel for the rest of the race now. Okay? So we're going to see where we're going to come out. Now we're 18th, which is quite a ways back from where we were. There are only 20 cars. Okay. We will keep it as if we left at 18th. Now we're driving the exit part. Like I said, it's on the left-hand side of the track. And you can see the cars on the track. And now we're back on. So we came out 18th. Now that doesn't mean we have 17 cars we have to pass per se, because the next time we go around the pit stop, if 10 of them are in the pits, we'll pass them all in one shot. So it becomes really difficult to know exactly where you are in position on the track. So the best you can do is just put the pedal to the metal. And there, this guy's going too slow, so you might as well go by him. Remember, like I said, there's a turn to the left up here, but we had lots of time to slow down before the turn. If you pass those cars there early enough, you got enough time to slow down. As we're coming up to the top of the hill here, coming back down our little roller coaster hill, we see 3 more cars ahead of us. there again, like I said, pretty sure all these cars in front of us here have not gone and fueled up. So, and they're not stopping there either. Okay, well, if they're not stopping, obviously they got better fuel consumption than I have in an Alpine, because I couldn't have gone maybe one more lap. I could have maybe done 6. We are now in our, what is it? I'm losing track of the laps. I think it's the 8th lap. Okay, so you see that there's a white car. Well, it looks like a Corvette coming out of the pits. So you see where they're coming out. You got to make sure that you don't run into them. You know, because there again, run into them, spin you off the track, lose time, lose the race. You don't want to do that. So you got to be careful of the other cars on the track. Here's a nice place to pass, and then if you're close enough behind them, like I said before, you come around the corner here. You got to do it right away though. Nice place to pass, lots of room. This guy for some reason wants to stay over to the left, which fine if that's the way you want to do it. It looks like he almost overshot the corner. And this guy is a little bit of a wild driver too, I believe. We're going to get by him pretty quick. Anybody that drives, oh yeah, that's the guy from earlier on. The same one again. Now, see what I mean? He was twisting and bouncing in front of me before, and he's doing it again. So now we're not going to be able to pass him here. This here little straight section does provide the room, but he's going in for the pits anyhow, and I don't think I will see him again, because him going to the pit stop puts me in front of him, and he will not be passing me or anybody else again, I think, because he's going to end up back in the pack somewhere. So this, I believe, is the start of lap number 8, and you got 3 cars coming onto the track here with you. There's one behind us, and we're going to quickly try and pass these guys and put them behind us. They haven't managed to get up to speed yet, I guess, but we got to get going because we're not sure how many cars are in front of us. We're not sure where we are in the pecking order now, so all we can do is just keep ripping. Sooner or later, if we start noticing no cars on the track, then that's got to mean that all the cars are behind us. Because we stopped for fuel, we were probably one of the first ones, one of the few first ones that stopped for fuel. And by doing that, now we are good until the end of the lap, or end of the race, right? So as we're following this little gray car, ooh, he's flashing his lights. I don't know what that was all about, but that's okay. We're gonna rip by him over here if we can. Then over here, but we don't have to rip by him because he's going for a pit stop. As we're coming around the corner here, I don't see any cars in front of us at the moment. And I do believe this is lap number 9. So 2 laps left to go. And we might be driving by ourselves. Not that that's a problem. We can use the full width of the track, enjoy the graphics, enjoy the gameplay. It's a fantastic car to drive. I keep saying it because it's just, it amazes me. It looks so good on the inside, and as long as you have a little bit of common sense with your corners, let up a little bit and come across the track, take your corners, this car will drive beautifully for you. Hugs the road, has lots of power, and is very responsive on the track. So it's an awesome car to drive. If you have the opportunity to get in behind the wheel of this Alpine in VR, and if you could do it in a rig where you have a steering wheel and pedals there on top of that, it's fantastic. It's like you're driving the actual car. It's really cool. Okay, as we're coming down our little roller coaster hill here, we're getting close to the end of this lap, and that means that there's only going to be 1 lap left to go. The sun is starting to drop in the sky as the day is coming to an end, right in time with the race. Around this corner, and we're heading towards the end of the 9th lap. So we got one more to go. 10 laps, fantastic race, but I don't think we're going to see any cars on this lap either, because like I said, they're all on the track, but they're all behind me, so we can't see them. And I haven't gone fast enough or hard enough, and nobody has gone slow enough that I could actually catch up to somebody and lap them. So that is why you're not seeing any cars on the track, and mainly because everybody went in for fuel later than I did. I went in for fuel a little bit earlier, so you won't see any cars. But that's okay. Sun's starting to go down, darkness is starting to take over, the lights on the dash are coming on, giving us a different glow, a different feeling of driving, especially when it's starting to get a little bit dusky, but it's fantastic nonetheless. Really enjoyed this race. This is one of my favorite races. Not one of my favorite tracks, but I do like the car. It's an awesome car to drive, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this race. Stay tuned, because we're going to be putting up a lot more of these here. Really fast, cool cars, and some really cool tracks. You have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you back at OpenFed Gaming real soon. And until the next time, you've been racing with the OpenFed.